Good afternoon and welcome to an historic day for University of South Florida Athletics. It is groundbreaking day for the on-campus football stadium that is scheduled to open in 2027. We've got a beautiful day, a lot to get to during this show. We'll go through some history and find out how we got to this point with Bulls football. Kaylee Cottrell is on site. She'll bring us interviews. We'll hear from the speakers today, and a few minutes down the road we will see shovels go into dirt, and the build portion of this stadium project will be officially underway. This is open to the public, so we are anticipating a big crowd. People have been looking forward to this for a long time. During our show today, we'll take a look at renderings of the new facility. Some of the renderings just a couple of days old. They were released this week. And we'll also hear from some of the people that helped get this project going, helped keep it underway, and now are helping it become a reality. It is great to have you with us this afternoon. I'm Jim Lauk. ESPN Plus coverage of groundbreaking day for South Florida Athletics. This is something we've been looking forward to for a long time. The Bulls have played off campus for football for almost 3 decades, starting at the old Tampa Stadium and then playing at Raymond James Stadium. And there was always hope that someday the Bulls would be able to come home to campus and be able to play games right near the Performance Center, right near the Yuengling Center, right near the Selman Center as part of a full-fledged athletic district. That's about to happen in the next couple of years as this program gets underway. Well, we've got a lot to get to today, and right in the middle of it all, out on site, is Kaylee Cottrell. Kaylee, this has got to be a great atmosphere. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of special moments on the way, and you're right in the heart of it. What's it like?
That's right, Jim. My gosh, talk about a day. You know, the first thing that comes to mind would probably be the word monumental. This is so huge, not only for our university, for the Tampa Bay community, for our student athletes, the student body, the alumni. It's so exciting. So many people have already started to trickle in. The music is going. We have some cool sand art over to the right of me, you know, which they're about to be digging into in a little bit here. And it's just crazy to kind of think that the grounds that we are currently standing on in just a few years will be a whole brand new state-of-the-art, one of the coolest stadiums in the country. Going to do so much for this university that is on a rise as one of the best nations in the U.S. When you look at sports, when you look at academics, when you look at the research funding, this university is taking off. And I am so excited, even as an alumni, to be here today, to be a part of it. You know, so many smiles going on. So it's a great day down here.
All right, Kaylee, thank you. We look forward to hearing from you again as we continue on this afternoon. Again, we're probably about 20, maybe 25 minutes away from the actual ceremony beginning, but that gives us a little bit of time to look back to the past and how this program got up to such a momentous day. Remember the Ponderosa. This is the original office building for football right beyond the left field wall of Red McEwen Field. There's Chad Barnhart. This is taken from a scrimmage before the first game. That was at the old USF soccer stadium. President Betty Castor, Athletic Director Paul Griffin, and of course the great Leroy Selman early in the program. There's Tampa Stadium, September 1997, the opener against Kentucky Wesleyan, where the Bulls put up 80 points. Kevin Patrick, still with the program, defensive line coach, leading the Bulls out in Game 1 in that historic day way back in 1997. So a lot of good memories. There's the team photo from the 1997 team. They went on to a 5-6 record that first year, head coach Jim Leavitt. And here's where we're getting to. 2027 will be the first season for the new home of the Bulls. the brand new stadium with South Florida getting set to play on campus for the very first time. That means a couple of more seasons at Raymond James Stadium before they move over. We'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Bulls later on in the show, but bear in mind the Bulls have always played very aggressive schedules, especially in the non-conference, and with a beautiful new facility like this, you know that they are going to be doing that again. So there are some great teams coming into Tampa, and this series continues. Well, we knew this day was coming. We just weren't sure when, but we got a really good indication of that when the practice facility groundbreaking took place. This is 2021. Board of Trustees Chair Will Weatherford letting us know what the future was going to be like.
There's a renowned author by the name of Victor Hugo who once said, "There's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come." Our time has come. These student athletes deserve a stadium on this campus. The students, the 50,000 students at the university deserve to have a stadium on this campus. The USF students and alumni, all the faculty, the administration, they deserve well. And I'm here to tell you, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. It's going to take a lot of work. It may take a little bit of time, but if I know anything about USF and the Bulls spirit, it's that we're never shy about having bold ambitions and going after them.
Will Weatherford has been one of the driving forces on this project, Board of Trustees Chair, and that was 3 full years ago when he let us know that there was no looking back. They were going to get this stadium built. That leads to today with the groundbreaking and the absolute day one of construction on this project. Well, if you're going to take on a project of this magnitude, you have to do it right. You have to do some unique things. You have to do some fan-friendly things. And that's really shown up in the renderings and the planning for this facility. It's going to be really special. You see the location here. That's the indoor practice facility just to the left. Obviously, the Yuengling Center just to the south. And there's a look at the 2 practice fields and the southern end of the stadium. A lot of seats, 35,000 or so. Room to grow in the future if the Bulls do want to expand. A very unique student section. Students will have their own dedicated entrance. The concourse is going to be very, very stylish and also give folks a lot of room to move around. There's a look at some of the media areas, some of the broadcast areas on the upper level there. As you look at the end zone, you were looking west there. Here's a look at some of the tailgate areas. It's going to be a great place to enjoy a full day. And here's our favorite view, the nighttime view with the Yuengling Center lit up in the background. Beautiful look at Tampa in the distance. And again, a nighttime look at just how beautiful this facility is going to be. And also how compact this athletic district is going to be. You're going to be able to walk from the football stadium to the Yuengling Center to the Selman Center, which will still be the heart and soul of USF athletics, a lot of the offices there. And then also right near there will be the Performance Center, and everything will be extremely close. It's going to be convenient for staff and student athletes, going to be very convenient for fans as well. The amenities are going to be outstanding. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch football in this facility starting in 2027. And it's not very far away, just 2 more seasons after this current one before the Bulls open up with Louisville. So a lot more going on site as they prepare for the speakers and today's program. Let's get back down on the field to Kaylee Cottrell.
Jim, I mean, hearing you talk about the stadium, right, I cannot wait for the student section, especially just from the looks of it, going to be absolutely electric. That Bull U right in the middle of it all, that is actually going to be lit up at night, illuminated. So much fun for the students. A DJ in that student section. own concessions, own entrance to make it easy and accessible. Probably it might just be one of my favorite parts of the stadium. Also, I think how they built it was very smart with the east to west design, having the south side as the home sideline where it's shaded, providing comfort for our home fans, and also a rooftop patio that will be covered up top. Vibes immaculate. I can't wait for that. And also we have the north lawn, right, with the tailgating. I think that will be a space, multi-use space, where anyone from the university and the Tampa Bay community can come, strengthen connections, strengthen relationships, and the bond over the love that they have for the university. There's so many cool aspects that were so well thought out of this stadium and of this football operations facility that, I was even talking to Coach Golish on Tuesday, and he said when he was in Knoxville before he got this job, he was sitting on the call with Will Weatherford and Jay Stroman and Michael Kelly, books laid out in front of him, and he kept hearing, this is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like. I promise this is what it's going to look like. And he was telling me it's been so surreal that now the day has finally come. So everyone is so excited. There's so much to be excited about. It's so well thought out, and I think it'll be a prestige facility in the nation.
All right, Kaylee, thank you. Great job as always. I think one of the things that's really unique about this facility, the student seating, not only outstanding location, a big number of seats, but also the dedicated, almost private entrance for students is going to be really special. The program has really appreciated student involvement over the years since the beginning of this program, and they are really showing their gratitude with how this stadium is laid out. The students are going to really enjoy this. Also, a great opportunity for tailgating as well. Rocky the Bull is in attendance. He looks like he's ready to go. He's springing into action here as we see the hard hats back there. Sand sculpture as well. That's the general area there where they are actually going to put the shovels into the dirt. If you're familiar, area were practice fields. They were among the very first practice fields, and one of the challenges for those early South Florida teams, especially in the fall, was that they would be out there practicing. The weather would deteriorate, maybe some thunder and lightning. You had to get off the field. They had a pretty long trek to get from the practice fields to the Selman Center to get back indoors safely. It's amazing when you look back not that many years ago to the late 90s, early 2000s, how different it was for South Florida football players compared to how it's going to be for the current players and also the players in the future here with these great new facilities. Of course, the indoor practice facility has really changed things for South Florida in the last couple of years. This is the next big step. A lot of student athletes are here tonight. Cheer squad as well. This is a really big weekend and a big day at South Florida. Not only is it homecoming, as you take a look at some of the uniform variations for the Bulls, this is also Hall of Fame night. The induction ceremony will take place right after this facility is crowned here at the beginning of this. We'll see Chase Koepka, Jeff Gary inducted into the Hall of Fame starting at 6 o'clock tonight. So a lot of celebration all tied in to homecoming weekend. Now, we talked about the Bulls' schedule, how throughout football history at South Florida, they have played the most difficult schedule they could possibly come up with. And if you follow South Florida football, you know the legendary wins. West Virginia, Notre Dame, Florida State. They've knocked off quite a few heavyweights in their time, and they'll continue to try to do that in the next couple of years. But when 2027 kicks in and this facility begins, you're going to see a lot more of college football's top teams coming in to challenge the Bulls at this beautiful new facility. Louisville will be the opener, then a trip out west to Boise, Florida A&M coming in, and Northern Illinois. Bulls played in DeKalb, Illinois about 30 years ago. This will be their first trip back since then. But a lot of very entertaining non-conference teams coming in to the new facility. And again, that's been where the Bulls have tried to schedule throughout their history. Here's a few more to look forward to as we jump ahead to 2029. Bulls have had a couple of really good games with North Carolina State over the years. Got a road win at NC State a few years back. And you know the history with Notre Dame. The big win in South Bend, one of the great wins in program history under head coach Skip Holtz. And then Notre Dame coming back to Tampa in September of 2029 in the new facility. And we certainly encourage Bulls fans to keep an eye out on ticket information also. It's a little early now to try to get tickets in the new facility, but the best way to secure tickets is to get them now. So if you're interested in season tickets, make sure to call 1-800-GO-BULLS. Get on board now for the last couple of seasons at Raymond James Stadium, and you'll be in good shape to get your seats in the new facility when it opens in the fall of 2027. Meanwhile, talking about this big homecoming weekend, there is football tomorrow and a major game for the Bulls as they face the Navy Midshipmen at 12 noon Saturday at Raymond James Stadium. Bulls are 4-4. Navy is 6-2. Bulls have won their last two games. This will be another big step toward bowl eligibility if they can get this one tomorrow. Getting closer to hearing from our speakers and seeing the actual groundbreaking just a couple of minutes away. We'll take a time out, be back with more of our groundbreaking ceremony after this.
It's not easy. Not everyone can do it. You have to be bold to be at the top, to be one of America's leading research universities, to generate an annual economic impact of $6 billion, and to be 20 NCAA Division I teams strong. Without a shadow of a doubt, the Bulls' impact on Tampa Bay is boundless. Be bold.
Welcome back. There's a look at the podium. That's where the speakers will be starting momentarily. We're going to hear from a handful of folks today. Will Weatherford, the Board of Trustees Chair. Of course, University President Rhea Law will be presiding over the program when we get started. Michael Kelly, the Vice President for Athletics, will be there. Alex Golish, head football coach, will be in attendance as well. And we're going to hear from one of the inaugural team players, the very first punter in South Florida football history. Tony Umholtz is with us, and he'll be speaking in a few minutes. And you got to have a current player there as well, and they've got a good one. Mac Harris, one of the outstanding linebackers for South Florida, had a great 2024 season. He'll be speaking as well. You can see the student athletes starting to file in as we are getting close here. Again, this is open to the public today, so we have a lot of fans here as well. For our out-of-town fans and for people that couldn't make it today, we're glad to bring you coverage on ESPN+. But what a day, great day to be out there if you can, and say that you were part of this special day when ground was broken on the new stadium. Let's get an update from down on the field. Here's Kaylee.
Yeah, Jim, as you can see, the student athletes are starting to pour in behind me in their support. And, you know, with it being homecoming week, I was also able to talk to some alumni this week, one of them, MBS, who is now with the Saints in the NFL. And he was telling me he loves to come back to USF every time he's in Tampa, to even use the indoor. He said, if it's raining somewhere, I can hop over to USF, and they welcome me back with open arms. He absolutely loves being an alumni. He's so proud of that. He's proud that he's a part of the foundation of this university. He said when this new stadium opens, he's like, I need to find a way to get my name on something because I am very proud that I was a part of the foundation that was built. I also talked to Jay Mize, who was on the very first football team in '97, and he told me, he made me laugh. He said, you know, I'm not a jealous person, but I am very jealous of the facilities that these student athletes are going to have. But he was so excited for the program, and even talking to Coach Golish on Tuesday, he said he went on a field trip, he called it, a few years ago, you know, or last year for a couple days to visit a bunch of different facilities so they can really build this one as the best in the nation. He said we flipped that building on its head about 10 times over to get it right. So the alumni are stoked. Current student athletes are stoked. Everyone is here to show support, and we're loving the day.
It's one special thing about Alex Golish. All coaches are different in their thoughts about alumni and former players. Some welcome them back. Some are not quite as enthusiastic about welcoming former players back. But Alex Golish is one of those guys that really wants to create the relationship with former Bulls, guys that have played, not only the guys that have gone to the league like Marquez Valdez-Scantling has, but guys that played their time here, may have gone on to other things, may have gone on into coaching, or may have gone into the business world. But Alex Golish wants to make sure they know they are welcomed back to games. They are welcomed in the office. Every time you're in the football office, you're almost guaranteed to see a former player walking the hallways there. And it's a great sight to see as this still very young football program continues to build tradition as it continues to work through its third decade. Let's take a look at some of the information about this new facility as we look forward to the groundbreaking ceremony coming up in a couple of minutes. $340 million. It's going to seat about 35,000. There's certainly capability to expand as needed in future years. There's the student section we talked about, not only the special look with the iconic Bull logo, but also 8,000 seats. That's pretty special. There'll be an operations facility along with it, and we probably don't talk enough about that. I know the football staff in particular is really excited about that portion of it. Everything is pretty much going to be under one roof for them when this gets built. And that operations facility may be overlooked a little bit because we're all so excited about the stadium itself, but that facility is going to be a very, very important part of this whole project. It'll be football and it will be women's lacrosse. Don't forget, Mindy McCord and her group are about to start competing, and they'll be in this building as well. The inaugural football game we talked about, September 4th, 2027 against Louisville, missed 30 years exactly by just 2 days. The inaugural football game was September 6, 1997. And almost 30 years later, they'll be playing in this new facility. There's a look at the lacrosse team. Women's lacrosse, they've done a great job recruiting. There is a lot of excitement surrounding that team as they get ready to play in the next couple of months. Coach Mindy McCord and her staff have done a great job, and they are going to be a very important part of this facility as well. So we're glad you're with us this afternoon. We're looking forward to the speakers starting shortly here, and then there'll be a very brief shovels in the dirt ceremony. This is very similar to a couple of other groundbreakings. If you go back long enough, about 2000 or so was the groundbreaking for the Selman Center. And then after that, of course, the IPF in 2021. And now here we are in 2024 with the football stadium about to be christened, in a sense, with the beginning of construction this afternoon. This is part of a lot of building in the athletic district. It's really been transformed in the last decade or so. Getting closer to the program, we'll take a quick break. Be back with more after this. Welcome back. We're just a couple of minutes away from the speakers beginning here at our groundbreaking ceremony. I'm Jim Lauk along with Kaylee Cottrell. Glad you are here with us today. We want to show you these renderings again because some of them only came out this very week, so you may not have seen some of the latest ones. And there you see the end zone and the beautiful field. This is going to be right near the practice facility. There is the student section with that iconic U design, 8,000 seats and a dedicated entrance for students. They're going to have great views to the field, and I think they're really going to be great inside as you work your way around the concourses. Look at all the room there, the views to the field. This is going to be fan-friendly to say the least. You are looking to the west in the end zone section there as we take a look at this view, and there's the tailgating area. This is only part of the area, but there's going to be plenty of room to get out early and enjoy the game. Yuengling Center in the background, indoor practice facility to the upper left, and the city of Tampa to the right in that beautiful night shot. And another look at that beautiful stadium. That's what we're hoping for in 2027. It won't be long now. Let's get down on the field. We talked about lacrosse being part of this project as well, and we've got one of their student athletes along with Kaylee Cottrell.
Thanks, Jim. I'm with Morgan Zimmerman on our women's lacrosse team. Morgan, how much does this mean to your team and to the whole this entire Tampa Bay community university?
Yeah, we're all just really blessed to be here. I mean, it's crazy the opportunities USF has given us. That's a big reason why I came here, and we're all super excited and can't wait to play in it. Like I said, I came here for a reason, and I love representing University of South Florida. It's been amazing.
Now, this stadium will house our football team and our lacrosse team. What do you think game day will look like for you?
Yeah, so excited. I know the atmosphere is going to be incredible, and we're really excited to be playing in the facility and have so many opportunities.
Thanks, Morgan. Jim?
Kaylee, thank you. Great to see lacrosse as part of this, and we talked a little bit about them. They have recruited ferociously in the last couple of years. They're going to be fun to watch when they start playing. So make sure you're a part of that, and they'll be in the new stadium starting in 2027 along with the football program. Well, a busy weekend, as mentioned. We're looking forward to football tomorrow at Raymond James Stadium as the Bulls play the Navy Midshipmen. Navy will come in with a 6-2 record. The Bulls are 4-4 with 2 consecutive wins. They need 6 wins to go bowling for the second consecutive year. So we'll look forward to seeing you at the stadium. But if you can't make it out on Saturday, that will be an ESPN2 broadcast starting at 12 noon Saturday from Raymond James Stadium, the Bulls versus Navy. Hall of Fame tonight on campus. It'll start at 6 o'clock. 4 great Bulls will be inducted. Eddie Cardieri, who was the heart and soul of USF baseball for 2 decades, will be going in as a new member. Chase Koepka, one of the great golfers in USF athletics history. In fact, he'll be the very first representative who, when he retired from the MLS, was that league's all-time leading scorer. He will be representing men's soccer. And from football, Matt Grothe, one of the great quarterbacks, engineered some of the biggest wins in South Florida football history. He'll be going in as well. 4 new Bulls into the Hall of Fame tonight. That is just part of this very, very festive weekend here with the groundbreaking ceremonies, with Hall of Fame, and with football tomorrow. Of course, men's basketball is playing tonight. They are on the road in Charleston looking for their first win of the season. They'll be home Tuesday night. And women's basketball will be on the road at UConn on Sunday. They will be back home on Thursday. The men's basketball game Tuesday, the women's basketball game Thursday, both right here on ESPN Plus. Well, you can see everybody filing in. A lot of folks. This is open to the public. A lot of student athletes are there as well. And a lot of dignitaries, a lot of the staff of USF Athletics are there. Alex Golish is going to speak later on in the program. Starting to take their seats, we expect that President Rhea Law will MC this program, so she will probably be the first person we hear from, but we'll also hear from Board of Trustees Chair Will Weatherford. Vice President of Athletics Michael Kelly, of course, as well. Everybody's got to have a selfie of this occasion here. You got to have the cameras ready. Make sure that you're able to say that you were there. A lot of these folks are such long-time supporters of South Florida athletics. I bet you can find a lot of people that 25 years ago were in place at the Selman Center groundbreaking, and certainly 3 years ago at the Indoor Performance Center groundbreaking as well. We touched on it briefly. There has been such a building boom for South Florida athletics in the last 10 years or so. New baseball and softball stadiums. The Sundome, now the Yuengling Center, totally rebuilt. Corbett Soccer Stadium, great improvements at the old soccer stadium, now the track and field facility. And this South Florida athletics program in terms of facilities continues to make major steps forward. And again, so compact with everything so close by. Makes it very convenient, makes it very appealing to recruits, and I know that all of us can't wait for the day when students can walk from their dorm rooms to the football facility to watch a football game on a Saturday afternoon or a Saturday evening. Raymond James Stadium has been an outstanding home for South Florida football over the years, but it's going to be special being on campus. Michael Kelly has talked about this for a long time. Student athletes have talked about it. Every head football coach at one time or another has talked about the need to get an on-campus facility, and that day is finally drawing a little bit closer with this ceremony today. We're giving you quite a few looks of everything that's happening around the area. Obviously, it's taking a couple of minutes to get everybody in place and to get this program started, but we do anticipate momentarily to start hearing from a handful of speakers and then having the ceremonial dig to get the shovels in the dirt, get things going. You can see a great crowd. There's a lot of students there, a lot of Bulls fans, a lot of green and gold, and this is what they are celebrating right here. Take a good look at this because you can really see almost everything in the athletic district. At the top, you can see the Yuengling Center. Just to the left, the baseball and softball complex. Come down a little bit, you see the Indoor Performance Center. Then the stadium itself. The Selman Center is a little bit behind the stadium in this viewpoint. And of course, a great look at the lights of downtown Tampa in the far distance, showing you just how scenic this is going to be when things get started. Tailgating is a big part of it, and the Bulls have a fairly good amount of land to be able to work with. And they've been able to carve out some good areas for tailgating as well. There'll be a lot more information on that as we draw closer to the first game, but certainly a lot of areas where you'll be able to come early and enjoy some food and enjoy some friendship and get ready for football as the day goes on. The proximity to the stands and the field itself is outstanding here. Once you get settled in for tailgating, you're not going to have far to go to get to your seats and get ready for the first play. So a beautiful layout. There'll be a lot more information on some of the specifics as time goes on, but these last four renderings, that were released this week really helped us, I think, to understand a little bit more of what the layout is going to look like and exactly how nice this is going to be. Well, there's the podium. You can see everybody's getting settled in here. There is President Law. And it looks like she is about to bring this to order. There'll be a video first, and then we'll hear from President Law momentarily as we get set to begin our groundbreaking ceremony from the campus of the University of South Florida. Here's President Law.
We are making history. This is the day we finally see what a stadium on our campus looks like. And I have to tell you that a project of this scale is even 100 people that make this possible. It is the entire team. And we've had so many people that have just linked arms and believed in the vision, believed that we are going to have a stadium right here on our campus, and they're excited about it. And every place I go in the community, they say, when's that stadium coming? Well, I'm here to tell you, you see the start today, but you're going to see it up, and it's going to look just like those renderings, and it's not too far. You're going to see it in 2027. Can I get another Go Bulls? And so I'd like to recognize some of the people that really made this possible. Now, as I told you, there is a whole host of individuals, but there's some that here today that I particularly want to call out. And so first, we have so many elected officials here. I am so honored to see how many people have come out because they believe in this vision. First is our Florida Attorney General, Ashley Moody. Our Commissioner of Agriculture, Wilton Simpson. Our Speaker of the House, Paul Renner. And for Florida senators, we have a number of them. First, USF alum, Danny Burgess. How about Jay Collins? Ed Hooper? And Darryl Roussan? And from our House of Representatives, we've got USF alum Jennifer Kennedy. Our leader, Fentress Driscoll. USF alum, Karen Gonzalez Pittman. Bernie Jacks. USF alum, Kevin Steele. USF alum, Lindsay Cross. And from the Department of Business and Professional Regulation, our Secretary, Melanie Griffin. And I want to recognize our local leaders because they too have a vision for the University of South Florida that we are fulfilling. And first, we have the City of Tampa Mayor, Jane Castor. And the City of Temple Terrace Mayor, Andrew Ross. And our great Hillsborough County Commissioners, Harry Cohen, Ken Hagan, Gwen Myers, and Joshua Wassel. And everybody needs administrators, right? And we have our great Hillsborough County administrators, Bonnie Wise and Greg Horridell. How about our City of Tampa City Council members? We have Alan Clendenin and Gwen Henderson. And our Temple Terrace City Council member, Gil Schizler. And then there are those that couldn't be here, but they was from the U.S. Senator Marco Rubio, Congressman Vern Buchanan, Congresswoman Kathy Castor, Congresswoman Laurel Lee, Governor Ron DeSantis, Senate President Kathleen Passidomo, Representative Mike Beltran, Representative Linda Cheney, and the City of St. Pete Mayor Ken Welsh. I cannot tell you how much we appreciate the support of our elected officials. We thank them for their investment in the University of South Florida because they have helped us with our trajectory and they have helped us maintain that and make it even better. And as I said, this could not be done without a team effort. And I need to particularly thank the Board of Governors of the state of Florida. And there are also other groups across our university. So let me first thank our USF Board of Trustees, which includes our chair, Will Weatherford, and Vice Chair, Mike Griffin. Our USF St. Petersburg Campus Board, our USF Sarasota Manatee Campus Board, the USF Foundation Board, and more importantly, the USF Financing Corporation and its board of directors. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize our past presidents, and we have with us today the Honorable Betty Castor and President Emerita Judy Genshaft. We are so fortunate and grateful to have so many wonderful partners and our dear friends of the university whose generosity is making this dream come to a reality. So first, I have to thank a few legends. The first is, for more than 2 years ago, there were three individuals that actually stood up and made a difference. Jeff Vinnick and Frank and Carol Morsani, and their generous gifts kicked off this effort. Next, I want to talk about two amazing community partners for their support. Tampa General Hospital, led by John Corus, gave a transformative gift to name the Tampa General Hospital Center for Athletic Excellence. And also, last year, the USF Federal Credit Union, led by Rick Skaggs, donated to the project and named the USF Federal Credit Union Champions Way. That is where our USF student athletes and all of our Bulls fans will journey down to reach the spot where we are standing right now, our new stadium's home. And just this week, we announced two more gifts at the $1 million level. Thanks to Oscar and Miriam Horton and Richard Gonsmart and the Gonsmart family for their continued support. Now, if it sounds like I have a lot of people to thank, it's only because I do. I also need to recognize, in addition to our donors, the tremendous team that's in charge of our design and building of this stadium. We have with us the design team, Populous, the construction manager, Manhattan Construction Company, H.J. Russell and Company, and Ducon LLC. And of course, we have our owner's representative, Bar and Bar. And you know, I talked about that financing thing a moment ago. Well, there's another part of this, and that is our great bank, Truist, who has been a long-standing partner. Without their support, today's celebration simply would not be possible. Let's give them a big round of applause. And then, of course, there's all the people that have been working on this behind the scenes. I must tell you, we have a tremendous stadium steering committee, and the incredible number of staff members that have spent countless hours really bringing this project to fruition. I must tell you from the bottom of my heart, thank you, because the designs are so thoughtful. They are the kinds of things that are going to make us proud for decades to come. So thank you to all of you who have been doing that. And you know, you may have noticed while you were out on campus today, there's something pretty special going on. It's not just this. It's our homecoming. And so all of our campuses are buzzing with homecoming, and they're here to celebrate their pride. And isn't it fun that we're able to actually do this in conjunction with our homecoming? I must tell you that this facility will give us an opportunity to bring our alums back to the University of South Florida. So many people have no idea what's going on here, and they're surprised when they come on campus and say, wow, we had no idea that you were doing all of this. I'm really proud of the University of South Florida. Well, you know that's what we're all about. We're all about being very, very proud Bulls. The other thing that this stadium will do is it gives us the ability to host all kinds of events. Certainly, it will be USF football, but it's going to be women's lacrosse. It's going to be concerts. It's going to be festivals. It's going to be other events. We want to activate this throughout the year. So there's lots of reasons for you to come back to the University of South Florida and celebrate with us. And we have been seeing such success. I must tell you that since we made this announcement, everything's gone up. Our admissions, our research funding, our philanthropic giving, and we expect that to continue. And we know that there's many, many universities across the entire United States that have been successful in both academics and athletics. We're one of those. So before I bring up our next speaker, which is our chair, Will Weatherford, I just want to say something directly to him, and that is, thank you for your steadfast vision. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for being instrumental in making all of these things happen. It was because of your leadership and support we are here today. Congratulations to you, and help me welcome Will Weatherford.
Thank you, Madam President. Can we get another round of applause for the best president in the entire university system? Mike Griffin has a saying where he says, you know, Rhea Law was the right leader at the right time for us, and she has absolutely been that. Her commitment to academic excellence, the last few months have been hard for Rhea Law, and the way that she still shines her light every day for this university, and you still see the love and the commitment that comes out of her amidst all the trials and tribulations. I just want you to know we love you, we're proud of you, and we're grateful for you, Rhea Law. It's been a hard month for a lot of us. We had to reschedule this event because of 2 hurricanes that hit our community unexpectedly. But like this university, this community is a resilient place, and we'll build back stronger than ever, I know it. I also want to thank this community for helping honor a person who in a very short period of time brought incredible energy and passion to this place, Coach Amir, who passed away unexpectedly. He continues to be on my heart. His family continues to be in my prayers. And I don't know if I've ever met a person who in such a short period of time had such impact on an entire city. We owe a lot to Coach Amir, and I hope you'll all continue to pray for him and his family. You know, it was 3 years ago at a podium just like this at the Porter Family Indoor Performance Center right behind us that I stood at a podium just like this and I announced that we would begin the process of designing and building a football stadium. It caught everybody in the audience by surprise, including our most rabid Bulls fans, and rightfully so because it probably felt like it came out of nowhere. But I'm going to let everybody in on a little bit of a secret. In that moment when we made that announcement, we had 0 plans to actually build a football stadium. In fact, I only called our team a few days earlier and told them I plan to announce at the indoor practice facility groundbreaking that we're going to build a stadium. I hope everybody's okay with that. And a few people rightfully pointed out to me, and they said, maybe we should have a plan before we go out publicly and tell people we're going to build a $400 million building. And I have to say, sometimes in life, you just have to speak things into existence. And I'm proud of this university for speaking this into existence, because we knew if we said we would do it, if the Bulls put their name on it, we knew we would stand up and deliver, and we have. And I'm real proud of it. Also, thank you very much for not making me look really stupid in front of a lot of people. Now, since that announcement, this university's been in execution mode. My fellow trustees, Mike Griffin, President Law, our co-chairs Michael Kelly and Jay Stroman, Coach Golish, and many others have been working to make this a reality. I'm grateful to them and the countless others who've made this possible. To our donors, to our legislature, to the governor, to our cabinet, to the people in this room, the people who've just been with us on this journey, encouraging us, helping us. I can't thank you enough. Mr. Speaker, what you did for us, can't thank you enough for this university. This university is because it's so great, it's an AAU and all the things that we like to brag about, because we have people like Wilton Simpson and the Speaker who have stepped up and helped us time and time again. And I just want to thank you and the entire legislature for your commitment to the University of South Florida. USF's a great university. Our alumni, our faculty, and our staff, and most importantly, our students deserve to experience the excitement and the energy that an on-campus stadium can provide. I've always said, and I continue to believe it, that this stadium is bigger than football. It's a reminder to USF that we can and we will continue to do big things. Everywhere you look, the University of South Florida is on the rise. Our invitation to the AAU was a signature moment that reflected our decades-long commitment to excellence. It was just this past year that the university broke records in student applications, research funding, philanthropic giving, economic impact, all the things that President Law just communicated. We want to keep this momentum going, and we want to make sure we continue to have this shared vision for what we know USF can be. It was 3 years ago at the same announcement where we talked about the stadium that I referenced a quote from Victor Hugo. It's one of my favorites. And Victor said, "There's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come." And it's true. The time for USF to build a stadium on campus has come. But Victor Hugo also said, "There's nothing like a dream to help create the future." I hope we all continue to dream big for the University of South Florida. It is now my honor to introduce our athletics director. We talk a lot about dreaming, and sometimes we make big proclamations in front of a lot of people, but it's our athletics director who's the one that gets stuck with having to do a lot of this work. And we're in a moment in college sports that is transforming, and navigating this transformation in college athletics is not easy or an enviable task. He knows that we're building more than a football stadium. He knows that we're investing in the future of all USF athletics. He knows we're betting on ourselves. We're looking to compete at the University of South Florida, and we're looking to win. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletic director of the University of South Florida, Michael Kelly.
Oh my gosh, what a day. What a day. Look at all the people here. The dream that's been realized, as Will just said. And to Chairman Weatherford, I said this at the football lunch, and I'm going to say it again. There's a saying that says, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a Will Weatherford, there's a way. So thank you so much. And to President Law, your leadership to allow all of us on the steering committee and everyone that's here today to help make this a reality is only possible with your focused support and leadership. So thank you for your inspiration as well. Well, good afternoon, Bulls Nation. It is indeed a historic day. All of us, in talking to you throughout the day, have had some sort of a recollection or your own experience to when this day would come. For me, and it's funny how things happen. 1993, I'll just say, was the first time it came to realization for me. I had never been to the University of South Florida at that time. I had never been to Tampa at that time. I was a graduate student at St. Thomas University trying to figure out an assignment at the last minute, and I said, wow, it would be a good idea for the University of South Florida to start a football program and build a stadium. I just kind of looked at someone that would make sense. I don't even know if we were a twinkle in the eye of Betty Castor and Paul Griffin at the time or not in terms of building a stadium. 1998, Paul Griffin was kind enough to bring me here for the first time, and we talked a little bit about building a stadium, but it wasn't time. He'd say it wasn't time. Then in 2000, some of the players that are here from that time will remember this. This field, where we're building it, and I'll get into that in a little bit, it used to be quite slanted. It was very much an uphill deal. When we hosted the Super Bowl in 2001, we were fortunate to get the NFL to come and help make it level and make it work, and Paul Griffin was really excited about that. And then having conversations, those of you with Leroy Selman, Jim Levitt, and others that knew we were going to have this day someday, but it just wasn't that time yet. But today is that day, and we're here for it, and it's a very historic day, and the countdown is now on to 2027. On this very ground, a home of our own will be built. Football and lacrosse will be played here. Fans, students, alumni, and the community will gather here. Championships will be won here. And when you set out a vision for an on-campus stadium, we wanted it to be much more than just a construction project. It needed to be by USF, for USF, taking consideration all those whom this will soon be home. It's accumulation of years of vision, hard work, and belief in what we all know here and what we know we're all capable of. Since 1997, USF football has brought this community together and this university together, achieving incredible milestones along the way. USF football, of all the programs in the state of Florida, were the fastest to reach 150 wins. There were multiple wins against top 25 opponents, both home and away. We've beat 15 different national champions in the past, a top 10 ranking in our past, a top 2 ranking to be exact. 11 bowl games. But all those moments have been great, but what's one piece has been missing is truly a home that we can call our own. And now that changes. This stadium is going to be the centerpiece of what I've said many times, and I still believe it to the core of my heart, will be one of the finest athletic districts in all of college sports. The proximity, the efficiency, the modernization, the well-thought-out design that President Law alluded to will be truly second to none. And dozens and hundreds of people in this building, in this tent today, have helped inform that and make it very, very special. This is the place where our football and lacrosse teams will reach unprecedented heights. This place is about building tradition, not just for today, but for generations of Bull fans to come. And I'm excited to see everyone that's here that's kind of had their own experience with the USF vision, with this dream becoming a reality. I'm excited to see some of the young people I see here today, some of the sons and daughters that are with some of these folks that are here on this historic day. I joked with people today, it's like all those people that you see in the Yuengling Center, all these historic billboards where you see these black and white photos, all of you here today are going to be that black and white photo in a couple hundred years about we were here today at this very, very moment. But this stadium just isn't a win for USF athletics, that's been said by both Will and by Rhea. It's for the entire Tampa Bay area. It will attract events of all sorts from here, not just university-related events, but economic benefit events that will bring things here. Right. We're going to bring AAC championships here, of course, and we're so honored to have Commissioner Tim Pernetti from the American Conference here. Please give him a round of applause for being here with us today. And we've already been in deep touch with a USF legend himself, Rob Higgins, as the head of our Tampa Bay Sports Commission, for many events that we can have here on the NCAA level, and soccer matches and friendlies and internationals, all things that can bring so much economic impact to the community. So it's a really, really great thing. We wouldn't be here without the tireless effort of so many. As has been echoed before, I can't thank our university leadership enough, our board of trustees, the steering committee that Rhea Law alluded to. I mean, Jay Stroman, as co-chair of this effort, has been unbelievable with the effort he's provided this. All right, Jennifer Condon, Dawn Rodriguez, Carol Post have worked tirelessly, as have all their staffs, to make this a reality. So to all of you, and the donors, of course, who have contributed an amazing amount without even seeing the first rendering, that's just pure belief. That's believing in a concept, that's believing in a vision, and we can't thank you enough. Your support has been nothing short of extraordinary. To our students, alumni, Tampa Bay community have rallied around this for decades. This is your stadium. Your passion and loyalty have built upon the foundation for everything we're about to achieve. And to our players, you're going to hear one from the past, you're going to hear one from the present. This is your home. And I think it's so awesome. One of my favorite things about this is the historical significance of this home that I know Tony will allude to in a minute. But when I was here 20 some odd years ago and watched Jim Levitt and the guys practice, it was here, almost a half mile away from their locker room at the Yuengling Center, right? Tony told me he got tired before he even got here. Right? But the bottom line is this: The first drops of blood, sweat, and tears of USF football occurred right here, and our forever home will be here, and championships will be won here. CFP playoff games will be hosted here, and we're all a part of it and all witness to say it, and you can all say you were here today. So the historical fittingness of this site and this location is very, very special. And so to those players, past, present, and future, every time you take the field, you will feel the power of Bulls Nation behind you. I cannot wait to see what this program will accomplish with a stadium that truly reflects the energy and pride of USF. And like President Law mentioned, it isn't about game days, it's about the community. A special place where we can all gather day in, day out, every day of the year, even when athletics aren't taking place. So imagine the energy. You see the pep bands here, you see the spirit squads here, the student section will be roaring, and all of it happening right here. The future of USF athletics is incredibly bright, and today we take that first step. So as we break ground, just know that this symbolizes everything that we want for USF. Excellence in everything we do, and a relentless pursuit of greatness. So again, thank you to everyone that's made this moment possible. We truly are Bull speed ahead to accomplishing what we like to say is a model athletic department for modern times. And I can't thank you all enough for your support. So now I'd like to introduce someone to you that obviously will get you the perspective of what it's going to mean directly to our coaches in this athletic department from top to bottom, and to our football program in particular. And that is our great head football coach, Mr. Alex Golesh.
I appreciate everybody being here. We are gearing up to play here in the morning at noon over at Ray J, and it'll be an exciting night tonight, exciting morning tomorrow, and our guys are coming right back in for special teams meetings here in about 20 minutes. So it'll be an incredible day, being homecoming, playing a really good opponent, and certainly what's happening here behind me today. I want to thank MK and the vision, and I guess back to '93 when you made it all up, and then now actually getting to work on this is truly special. Will Weatherford lying 3 years ago and now making it come to fruition. I'm with you there. But certainly the leadership, Jay Stroman, Mike Griffin, President Law, the energy you feel from our leadership, and I mean this wholeheartedly. Leadership is so hard and so lonely in so many ways, but the energy that this group brings every single day, our players feel it, our coaches certainly feel it. It's real, it's authentic, and it's easy to follow. To the donors, the supporters, whether you've given millions or sit your butt in the upper deck at Ray J, this is what college football is about. It's about people coming back, giving back, and then enjoying what it gives you back, which is football games on Saturdays in the fall, and there's nothing like it. The impact it's going to have is absolutely huge between the stadium and the TGH football complex. The impact from a recruiting side, the impact from a functionality side, and the impact for where we're going as a football program for years to come will be hard to put in words. The facility between the stadium and the TGH Center for Competitive Excellence, we're gonna need to come up with some sort of name there, at least a shortening version. But the TGH Center for Competitive Excellence will be an elite facility, and when we talk about elite facilities, we've worked extremely hard with MK and Jay Stroman and the resources we've been given to make it the best football facility in the entire country. In every imaginable way, winning football games comes down to having elite football players. Recruiting is such a huge part of that. Development is such a huge part of that. Retention is such a huge part of that. The new facility, the support that we've gotten and are continuing to get will allow us to recruit, will allow us to retain, and will allow us to develop elite football players and elite young men that will continue to build a championship culture and a championship program here, will continue to allow us to graduate these young men and put incredible young men back into society to continue to add value to the future of our country in a lot of ways. From a football side, the stadium is going to give us a true home field advantage. You look at the designs, you look at where the students are. Gosh darn it, it'll be packed every Saturday, and this will be the hardest place in the entire country to play. Yeah. More than anything, and I think as a football purist, as a college football fan, I think for the young men that came before the guys that are here now, the guys from 97 on, that put so much blood, sweat, and tears into building not just a foundation for what we're trying to get to, but for being in trailers out here on an uneven football field, trying to do something that had never been done before, for them to come back and tell their kids, man, I was a part of building that. And we're talking about 27 years right now, but for the next however many that stadium's sitting there, that's pretty special. And this is an incredible day, certainly for me as the leader of our football program. It's an incredible day for the future of our football program, but it's an incredible day for the vision that has been put together by so many people. I'm so humbled, so grateful to be a small part of it. I'm so humbled and grateful to continue to lead this football program to places it's never been. I appreciate the support that our young men have gotten, and I'm excited to bring a championship home here to Tampa. So God bless, I appreciate it. Tony Umholtz was one of the guys. I didn't know Tony was uphill, which is pretty cool. But Tony was on the original team here, went on and played in the National Football League and has come back to Tampa and has had an incredible professional life, got an incredible family, and I want to bring him up to represent all the former players, and thank you for everything you're doing for us as well, Tony.
Boy, we are fortunate to have Alex as our coach, guys. Let's give him a round of applause. Come on. If I was like 25 years younger, maybe I could play for you, maybe. I'd love to suit up for him. But I thought we'd have a little bit of fun, guys. I wanted to go back in time a little bit. So before we start, I just wanted to kind of go back to 1997 and kind of give you a perspective of what we saw back then. And on this very field, this is kind of funny, being an inaugural program, they had an open tryout for all students. So Jim Levitt knew I was transferring in. All right, I came from a small school in Missouri. And he goes, I want you to be there with all the other students. So there must have been 350 students here. It was crazy. And I'm talking gym rats, you name it, right? People with no skill, some with skill. They kept 3 of us. 3 of us were kept. So when I think of this field, I always remember my first time out here was among all these 300 students. So that was our first open tryout. The other memory, this morning I was thinking of some memories of those times. And you know, as Coach had alluded to, and MK had alluded to, our locker room was in the bottom of the Sun Dome. I'd say the basement of the Sun Dome, all right, basement of the Sun Dome. And we'd have to walk all the way here. So you can imagine on stormy days, it was kind of, could be interesting. But there was a few guys with pickup trucks. And those guys, you'd see about 10 or 15, maybe not 15, but maybe 8 to 10, like big guys in full pads in these cars. Looked like a caravan coming to practice. And Jim Levitt had something called bull time. So that was, you got to be 5 minutes early to everything. So you got to be 5 minutes early. So if you walked up here on time, you were late. So you see these big guys, 300-pound guys, sprinting to the entrance of the practice field. Those are some other memories I had. So it was a fun time. It was a humble time. We brought up the trailers where our baseball stadium's located. And but we didn't know any better, you know. We were thankful for what we had. We were a humble bunch. We were a resilient bunch. And, you know, we won right out of the gate. You know, it didn't take the best facilities in the world. We won right out of the gate. You know, I never forget 1AA champion team, Georgia Southern. We could have tied them to go into overtime. We went for 2. We didn't. We didn't win that game. But we were competitive right out of the gate. So So great memories of those days, but lots of memories of the uneven fields. And, but there's some great guys. Even back then, in that time, we had several guys sign NFL contracts and pro football contracts out of that first team. So some great memories. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up a few names, though. The great Leroy Selman, guys. Leroy meant so much to me. He gave me so much perspective on things, especially after my senior year, having an opportunity to go to pro football, just ask him how things work. I didn't know, right? As a young guy, I didn't know how things work. Teams were coming to work me out, and I didn't know what was going on. But, and then we had Jim Levitt, of course, all those former players, the first teamers, President Castor, courage to start football. I mean, guys, it wasn't easy, right? It wasn't easy. So you stand here today. I just wanted to go back in the past and acknowledge that and think through some of the things that people gave, and even Paul Griffin, the courage what it took for him to put this together and get this program going. And it's such an honor to be here, guys, and be part of this journey. I'm so excited to see this happen for our school. It means so much to me. Just being around this program, playing 3 years here, and then just being a season ticket holder, watching the program grow, it means so much from the heart for me. And I know for many of the others it does too, many of the other players here. And guys, just amazing planning went into this. We've got the best leadership team we could ask for right now. I mean, with Will, with President Law, we're just so fortunate to have this leadership team. And it's been an honor for me to be on this journey, guys. I'm going to introduce a current player, much younger than me, linebacker Mac Harris.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to follow all of that, but yeah, I just want to say thank you, Tony, and thank you to the players and coaches that came before us and laid the foundation for us to be able to come out and, have what we have today. It's an honor to represent the student athletes that'll get a chance to compete, grow, and, build a bond into the future that's going to come. The history that we are putting in today, it's a moment that I'll never forget. Like this right here, this is unforgettable. As a student athlete and graduate, I'm proud to be a part of an elite program, community, and university. Every day we pour into our process, just work day in and day out and define who we are and who we want to be. And this new stadium at TGH Center, there you go, that's the nickname right there, TGH Center. It's a huge step for us as a, it's a huge step for us. Yeah, it's a huge step for us as a university, as a program, and again, as a community. USF is on the rise, and the stadium speaks loudly in our commitment to being the best versions of ourselves each and every day. This stadium is about every player, every coach, every fan that believes in us, this program, this university, and in the power of Bulls Nation. So thank you again to everybody, and go Bulls.
Welcome to the University of South Florida, where tradition meets transformation. Here, we're building more than just a stadium. We're creating a home for our Bulls, a place where unforgettable memories are made. The roar of the crowd, the thrill of game day, and the spirit of camaraderie, all right here on our own turf. This is where passion meets performance, where student athletes strive for greatness, and where every seat is filled with pride. Today begins the next chapter in USF history, the state-of-the-art stadium that will elevate our game, our community, and our legacy. Join us as we embark on this journey together. A bold new era begins.
This concludes our speaking program, but now it is the moment that you have all been waiting for. So if you've been asked to participate in the photo opportunity at the dig site, please join us right over there. And everybody else, please remain seated and turn your attention to the dig site as we complete the ceremonial turn of the shovels. Members of the media who would like to capture this big moment, please position yourselves in the marked areas to ensure that you have the best angles for your shots, and our media's relation teams will be there to help you. Thank you all again for being there. This is historic, and we're so happy for your support of our university. Go Bulls!
Great to hear from all the speakers, and now the shovels getting ready to go in the dirt. You can see it's a little bit of a journey from the podium to the actual site here, so everybody is making their way there, including all the photographers and videographers, to make sure that they capture this historic moment. You get to see it live on ESPN Plus, and you're going to have the best view of anybody around here today. So this will be the location of the new stadium. It is almost adjacent to the indoor practice facility. Once upon a time, a very long time ago, USF softball played on this little plot of land here. And the signage up there, you can see the hard hats going on. Michael Kelly in the foreground there. Sand sculpture, and they've already got the iconic U for the USF Stadium. This has been a long time coming. And the exciting thing about this is when you go to campus now, every time you come here, this is going to look different because they're going to be working on it every day. There'll be more progress every day. And every day you happen to drive by and take a peek at it, it will be closer to the day when the stadium opens for football and lacrosse. Looks like we are getting close. Great crowd today, a lot of student athletes, a lot of fans, a lot of staff members, administrators, local dignitaries as well. This is an exciting day for a lot of people, including Bulls football fans who are going to get the chance to sit in this new stadium starting September 4th, 2027, not that far away. There go the streamers. Rocky supervising. We saw Will Weatherford a moment ago on the left part of the screen. Rocky's got the golden shovel. That's pretty sharp. Everybody getting aligned properly here. Wasn't that long ago when this was taking place for the Selman Center. That building went up quickly and has since become one of the focal points of USF athletics. 3 years ago since the indoor practice facility groundbreaking. And now led by President Rhea Law and Board of Trustees Chair Will Weatherford. We are about to break ground on the University of South Florida on-campus football stadium. Let's get a little closer to the activity. Here's Kaylee.
When those streamers came out, I mean, let me tell you, the smiles all around, so much excitement. We have so much support down here on the ground here today for this new stadium. And to hear even the alumni talk about, trailers used to be here, and now to have the stadium just a couple years away, monumental day. I mean, everyone's fired up about it. So it's a great scene down here.
Tell you, Kaylee, how different it is from the days of those trailers, the old Ponderosa. If you were going to record interviews with the football coaches, you had to time it just right, because if it was baseball batting practice, you would have home runs hitting off the roof of the trailers and ruining your audio for the football interviews. Come a long way in 3 decades. So a great scene. As we are officially underway, let's get right back to Kaylee Cottrell.
And with Claire Natoli on our team, how excited are you and your play in this new stadium?
We are beyond excited, like truly from the bottom of our hearts. This is not an opportunity that you can get at really any other school. I mean, I'll just say it. This is the best facility and stadium for women's lacrosse in the whole country. And I think just that, being able to go out there, set the foundation for our whole team, like we're going to win championships out there, we're going to recruit the best talent, and that's just completely unparalleled. For me personally, I was committed to a top 20 Division I program before I came here, and so looking at the vision that they had and the belief and the trust for our coaches, our athletic department, for the whole university, the amount of support that they have for us as female athletes, I mean, it couldn't be beat. I had to come here, and I haven't looked back since. This place is
Do you have a favorite part of the stadium yet?
That's a great question. I mean, it's a beautiful stadium, and I said it once, I'll say it again. This is the best facility for women's lacrosse ever. If I had to pick a favorite, I'd probably say the lower deck, just for that fan intimacy. Like for us as a team, we want those fans to be out there and have that connection with them, and I mean, it's in the heart of the stadium. You can just walk here and have an amazing fan experience that is truly second to none. So that's something that we're really looking forward to, just getting the community here and to go out on that field and look back and see Bulls Nation. It's just, I really can't wait.
Can't wait either. Thank you, Claire.
Thank you so much.
Jim, back to you.
All right, Kaylee, thank you. I'm really glad to see lacrosse represented so well today, because they are going to be a big part of this stadium project. As things start to wrap up here, everybody milling around, still some more photo opportunities, and the hard hats are still out as we are officially underway with the construction of this new stadium. September 4th, 2027 against the Louisville Cardinals. That'll be game 1, and what a great first opponent. If you know your Bulls football history, you know Louisville was the first team that the Bulls played in the Big East. They were the first team that the Bulls played in CUSA way back when as well. Here's a look at 2027, how it's going to play out the first 4 weeks, the non-conference schedule. 2 at home, 2 on the road. The Cardinals in for the big day on September 4th. Florida A&M 2 weeks later, and a couple of challenging road games sandwiched in between with a trip out to Boise State. That'll be the Bulls' first ever football game in the state of Idaho. And then they'll go back to DeKalb, Illinois. They played Northern Illinois on the road a few years back. That'll be September 25th. And more great games to look forward to in the new facility once Louisville is done on the September 4th, 2027. How about NC State and Notre Dame back-to-back in 2029? It'll be the Bulls' third meeting with Notre Dame. But the first one here in Tampa, that's going to be exciting in September of 2029. A little bit more background on the stadium as you look forward to it. This project, $340 million. It's going to open as a 35,000 seat capacity with the opportunity to expand in years to come. The student section with a dedicated and the iconic Bull U logo. It's really unique. It'll be an operations facility as well. Football will move from the Selman Center into the operations facility, and they will be literally conjoined with the stadium, everything under one roof. It'll be the home stadium for football and women's lacrosse, and we told you about the opener, September 4th, 2027. Well, we've been talking about the lacrosse element in this big project. Let's hear from the head coach. Kaylee has Mindy McCord.
Jim, Coach, such an exciting day. How excited is our women's lacrosse program to play in this beautiful on-campus stadium?
I mean, they are just thrilled. You know, we've been here 3 years, but it's our inaugural year, so we've been recruiting, bringing in tons of wonderful talent to be in this elite facility, one of the best that will be the best lacrosse in the country. And to be able to open up our inaugural game February 7th, the excitement is just very high for it to be real.
When you look at the investments into these facilities, how much does that speak to the winning culture and the elite student-athlete experience at USF?
USF is about world class. They're creating world-class students. They're creating world-class student-athletes. Their commitment to elite facilities like this is going to be transformational for this campus community, our Tampa Bay community, to have the fan engagement and bring this to USF.
I love it. Thank you. Jim, back to you.
All right, Kaylee, thank you. Thank you, Coach McCord. A great day on campus, all part of Homecoming, the Hall of Fame induction ceremony tonight, and a big football game at Raymond James Stadium tomorrow. You can't ask for much more. Before we wrap up, we want to show you those renderings one more time so you know not only to the football program, but to the University of South Florida as well. Situated in the heart of the athletic district near the Indoor Performance Center, the two outdoor practice fields, and then the stadium right behind it. A look at one of the end zone areas, 35,000 seats, 8,000 dedicated to students. There's the iconic U and that very unique student section that's going to be really comfort inside the stadium, a lot of room to move around. A look at some of the other areas of the stadium there with some of the suites and the press areas. Just a tremendous facility. There's the main tailgate area. There'll be a lot of opportunities to enjoy a full day of activities. And as nice as it looks during the day, it looks really great at night. There's an evening view of what this stadium will look like on campus at the University of South Florida. So construction technically has begun. Ground has been broken, and we are on our way to September 4th, 2027, when the Bulls open their first on-campus football facility, welcoming in the Louisville Cardinals for the 2027 football season. It has been a great afternoon, and we have been very glad to share it with you around the country. Bulls fans getting their first look of what this stadium will look like, where it will be, and believe me, it won't be long until it's time for the inaugural game. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. For Kaylee Cottrell, Jim Lauk saying good afternoon from Tampa. This has been a presentation of ESPN.